Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show, and today I will be going over some of the biggest players on the Chicago Bears draft board. I'm just going to skimmily go through the roster briefly and just give my thoughts on the roster, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So, we're going to start in the trenches. We're going to start on the offensive line. I think this offensive line is, it's average. It's not great. It's not completely terrible. It's very mediocre, maybe below average a little bit. Pushing it maybe on average, but yeah, the tackles are serviceable. You know, Efere, eh, he's okay, nothing terrible, but I guess he gets the job done. Then you have the bars, he's not it. Daniels, Daniels is okay, he's serviceable. White here, he's good too. He gets the job done, but this this Bears offensive line just needs that guy. They I don't know. They just need that one guy to really elevate it. Whether it's a tackle, a guard, they just need that one guy that's gonna bring the juice. That's gonna bring that energy, that positive energy. That's gonna get the team going, the offense going. It's just I think they need that one guy on the offensive line to really propel this offensive line. And then you go to tight ends. Their tight ends are pretty decent. I do think they have very solid tight ends in Jimmy Graham and Cole Kmet. Very good one-two punch at the tight end position. Um, and then you go to the receivers. You have Allen Robinson, who still a very good chance he's going to be traded because I don't see him wanting to stay in Chicago with Andy Dalton. I just don't see it. I don't think he's going to want to play, but if he's forced to play, he probably will. Um, and then you have Darnell Mooney, Anthony Miller, Javon Wims. You know, Out of all, out of those three, I like Darnell Mooney the most. Out of Mooney, Wims, and Miller, you know, three guys that get the job done. But Mooney is a big play waiting to happen. He's young. Those other guys are young too. But I truly think Mooney has a lot more potential than those guys. I like Anthony Miller. My problem with Anthony Miller is he plays a good game or two and then he disappears for 3 or 4 games. That's not what you want. You want consistency. And then you have Javon Wims. He's not what you want receiver. I guess he's got a little bit of that speed that you want. He can be a decent receiver, but you know, not very good hands as we've seen in the playoff game. Um, Decent route running, but he definitely has to improve those hands. Um, so yeah, the weapons are pretty good. Offensive line is average at best, maybe, and then you have the running back and the quarterback. Andy Dalton. There were rumors around for quite a while that they were really, really on Seattle's tail trying to get Russell Wilson, and they made a hard push. They probably easily offered Khalil Mack first, quite a few firsts, you know, some really maybe a really solid player. I think Akeem Hicks was one of those players that was actually in the trade package. Um, so yeah, they were really, really pushing for Wilson. It didn't happen. And then they sign Andy Dalton, which the Bears fan base was thrilled. They were thrilled to say the least. It's kind of like you go to like an amusement park and you're not gonna go in. You're just gonna sit in the car and not go in. It's kind of like that in my opinion. I like how Smith said it. I like that analogy. So just take me home. Just take me home. Don't bring me to the amusement park just to sit in the parking lot and play in the parking lot. Bring me to the amusement park to go on all the fun rides at thrillers. That's what you want. So yeah, and then and then you go to the running backs. Very very solid in my opinion. A very good one-two punch Montgomery and Tariq Cohen. Montgomery is probably a top 10 back in my opinion. And then you have Tariq Cohen, who's very versatile. He is a good kick returner, punt returner. Very good running back group in my opinion. I think they're very solid. And then we're gonna go over the defense. Where things are pretty good. Defense is looking pretty good, but this defense could really honestly take a step back next year. And I see it, and I could see it. They definitely do have some amazing players on this defense, of course, but there's a chance it's gonna take a step back. It's the chance is there. And then you have, first we're going to start in the trenches like we do in the offense, and the trenches are pretty strong. You have Robert Quinn, Bilal Nicholas, Eddie Goldman, Keem Hicks, and Khalil Mack. That's an extremely solid defensive line. And then you have guys like Roquan Smith who could come off the edge, but could also play linebacker. Danny Trevathan could also come off the edge, but I think they can get an upgrade over Trevathan. I think Trevathan is starting to, really slow down. I wasn't a fan of his play last year. He did have a point where he did look like his old self. He did look pretty decent, but he just seemed slow last year and not really that guy to, not really that running, not really that linebacker that you're used to seeing from him. So I think it's time to get a linebacker later in the draft. Maybe in the second round, you can pick up a guy like Nick Bolton. Um, but in the first round, if they really go for like a linebacker, I think Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah could be there. But Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah could also go very early. He could go from maybe like number 11, number 10, possibly to maybe like the end of the first round. It's not crazy, but he's an extremely solid linebacker. One of the better pass coverage linebackers that I've seen coming out of college that we've seen. Um, so a very solid guy there, and then corner, the defensive back group kind of scares me a little bit. You have Jalen Johnson, you have Trufant. Will Jalen Johnson take that step? He was very solid last year, but as rookies, they're young and they're gonna make mistakes and they're gonna have that off season. Will Jalen Johnson take not improve as much as they're expecting? With the release of that Kendall Fuller or Kyle Fuller, I forget which one it was. I always get those two mixed up, but yeah, with releasing him, do you really have a void at cornerback? Maybe they really have to get that figured out. I don't know if Trufant is that guy. You know, was an extremely solid corner with the Falcons, but maybe that defensive line will make it a lot easier on these defensive backs, which very well could be. And then you have the safeties, which are decent. You have Eddie Jackson, one of the better strong safeties in the league. Um, then you have Jordan Lucas. Haven't really seen much from him. We don't know much about him yet, but I guess we'll have to see what he's made of. So yeah, I don't know what else to really go over. So maybe I don't know who I would pick. It depends on how the draft goes. Um, I don't really think Christian Darrisaw is going to be here. Too many teams that need a tackle that will probably take him. Um, I'm actually gonna go. I'm not gonna go with the receiver. I'm not gonna go with someone on defense. I'm gonna go with Alijah-Vera Tucker, the guard from USC. He could also play tackle, but I think he'd be better at guard. But don't be surprised if they take a guy like Alijah-Vera Tucker to really protect Andy Dalton. Um, yeah, I guess we will see though. Maybe they reach for a guy like Kellen Mond, which I don't see in the first round, but I guess we will have to see how that shapes up. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you Bears fans think about the Bears and who they may target in the NFL draft. I thank you guys for watching. Um, talk to you guys next time.